Right now, across the hospitality industry, a tightening economy is steadily pulling down overall vacation reservations, leaving once popular travel destinations fighting for guests. Looking at this split-screen line graph tracking the last 36 months, physical hotel occupancy on the left is dipping. On the right, operational costs climb. Merging these sets of data into a single view reveals a severe compression of net operating margins. To combat the drop in organic bookings and maintain cash flow, properties are forced to look outward, relying heavily on third-party schedulers just to fill empty beds. Hotel management is trapped in a vice. Baseline operational costs are rising, and simultaneously, their reliance on outsourced customer acquisition is going up. The primary outsourced schedulers are online travel agencies, or OTAs, massive platforms like Expedia and Booking.com. Outsourcing this customer acquisition comes at a steep price. OTAs aggressively extract a commission fee of 15 to 25% on every single room night they book. In a business where margins are already notoriously thin, surrendering a quarter of top-line revenue to a middleman creates an unsustainable financial bleed. For a chief financial officer looking at a ledger, the primary directive is clear: find a way to bypass these platforms entirely to stop the loss of revenue. To accomplish that, financial officers are deploying a specific architectural strategy. By capturing offline data, they legally circumvent OTA pricing restrictions and recover up to 20% in net margins. Relying on OTAs as a short-term fix for occupancy creates a long-term structural deficit that persists long after the rooms are filled. Let's establish a baseline scenario. A family books a standard 5-night vacation at $250 a night, creating $1,250 in top-line revenue. This vertical waterfall chart maps the unit economics of an OTA-dependent booking. From a $250 room night, a 20% middleman commission immediately removes $50. Locking in the remainder, the hotel is left with a net operating profit of exactly $200. Looking at this math, the logical move for a CFO seems obvious. Undercut the OTA by advertising a $225 rate on the hotel's own website to capture the booking directly. But a major legal roadblock stands in the way. Standard OTA contracts bind hotels with aggressive rate parity clauses. Rate parity strictly dictates that a hotel cannot publicly advertise a cheaper direct room rate than the exact price listed on the OTA's platform. These clauses construct a legal walled garden around the property, mathematically forcing them to continuously subsidize their own largest competitor. Bypassing that walled garden starts away from the internet, down on the physical property floor. It begins with a passive, high-visibility QR code placed at the front desk and inside elevators. Guests who scan this code receive a high-quality digital storybook explicitly designed for children back home. Because travelers often want a gift for a child at home, this allows the hotel to capture verified contact details from corporate guests, solo travelers, and grandparents alike. This flow schematic illustrates the immediate digital conversion. The physical scan pulls the traveler directly out of the OTA ecosystem and natively registers them into the hotel's own loyalty database. Next, the physical fulfillment takes place. The guest receives a physical, white-labeled paperback copy of the book to take home. The crucial architectural mechanism sits on the back cover of that paperback, a direct-to-property booking QR code printed permanently into the physical object. This system utilizes a physical amenity as an active bypass channel, securing a direct line to the guest for all future bookings. Now we return to the legal constraint of rate parity that stopped the CFO earlier. The precise loophole in rate parity law is that it applies exclusively to room rates advertised publicly on the open internet. Because the new physical channel requires specific access, it is legally classified as a closed user group, or a fenced loyalty rate. Since the direct booking QR code exists strictly offline on a physical book, or inside a private gated portal, it completely evades the pricing restrictions enforced by the OTAs. Looking at these side-by-side waterfall charts, lowering the direct room rate to $225 saves the guest $25 a night. For the hotel, the middleman fee drops to $0. Retaining the entire $225 increases net operating profit by $25 per night, successfully undercutting the OTA. Offering this direct incentive also solves a secondary macroeconomic problem. It drives up the average length of stay, guaranteeing 5 full days of high-margin dining, premium on-site parking, and other resort amenities. By legally fencing the rate within the physical world, the property takes a zero-sum booking and turns it into a positive-sum financial outcome for both the guest and the hotel ledger. A financial officer might point out an immediate hurdle. Printing and storing thousands of physical books requires a massive upfront capital expenditure. This cash flow stress is eliminated by utilizing print-on-demand architecture via API. In this logistical flow chart, the property uses a micro-inventory model of 25 to 50 copies. When a book is handed out, dropping inventory below a threshold, an automated API signal routes to a printing facility to dynamically generate a single replacement unit. The entirety of the physical inventory prints and ships dynamically, scaling in perfect lockstep with the actual, realized room occupancy. By reclassifying a physical amenity from a sunk upfront capital expenditure into a variable, self-funding customer acquisition tool, the financial risk is neutralized. To understand the ceiling of the system, we look at a corporate portfolio of 15 properties, all funneling captured data streams into one central database. Scaling this architecture unlocks compounding benefits, specifically triggering a 20% bulk discount on paperback print costs. Connecting through an enterprise API also allows corporate teams to deploy unlimited seasonal ebook refreshes instantly without having to discard any old physical inventory. To implement this, financial officers have to stop viewing children's books and physical amenities as standard sunk operational expenses. Instead, this system operates as a self-funding commission deflection machine built specifically to insulate operating margins against restrictive OTA contracts. In a tightening economy, true margin protection isn't found by trying to outspend the massive travel platforms on the internet. It is found by shifting the battlefield entirely to the offline physical world.
Welcome to the future of asset building. This is a strategy that you can trust. Just scan the QR code. Let's build a long-term partnership.